if you were still here, sitting in the front row, she could tell you in her own words that Becca, my daughter, loves Elmo. The red, furry, adorable, slightly annoying with the high-pitched voice, Muppet from Sesame Street. And this week, more than maybe I usually do, I also love Elmo. Because Elmo this week was able to relate to and connect with so many people across the world and connect with our lived experiences. Maybe you saw this, and if not, I'll share that on social media, Twitter, X, whatever you call it, probably others, Elmo asked, Elmo is just checking in. Elmo always speaks in the third person about himself, if you didn't know this. I won't do the voice. I can't do Elmo yet. Working on Cookie Monster and Grover, can't do Elmo. So Elmo asked, Elmo is just checking in. How is everybody doing? Well, as the Washington Post put it, not well, apparently, and maybe really bad. Celebrities, news outlets, Sesame Street characters' accounts, and everyday people replied, many with existential dread, despair, and exhaustion. By Tuesday morning, Elmo's post on X, the platform formerly known as Twitter, had received more than 110 million views. Here are some of the responses that Elmo received. The Detroit Free Press, and this was right after the NFL's Lions loss, tragic loss on Sunday. So the Detroit Free Press wrote, "We've felt better, Elmo." Another person wrote, "Every morning, I cannot wait to go back to sleep. Every Monday, I cannot wait for Friday to come. Every single day and every single week for life." Another wrote, "Elmo, I'm suffering from existential dread over here." They covered things like seasonal depression and losing jobs, the expanding war in the Middle East, and more. As the Washington Post put it, while there was plenty of banter among the responses, the overall tone also reflected a sense of hopelessness that appears to be common. And it continues by stating that there's a rising mental health crisis in our country, with more and more adults feeling lonely, for instance. This concept of loneliness, of carrying these burdens, ever-increasing burdens, is something that I think Moses could have related to. Our Torah portion, Yitro, begins with Moses and his father-in-law Jethro reuniting. Jethro soon watches as Moses acts as judge and magistrate over all the people, but he sees a major red flag. Moses handles every case by himself, spending every moment of the day handling these cases. It says, the next day Moses sat as magistrate among the people, while the people stood about Moses from morning until evening. Every case, every issue, Moses handled himself. And thankfully, Jethro stepped in. He said, the thing you're doing is not right. You will surely wear yourself out, and these people as well. Ki chaved mimcha hadavar, for this task is too heavy for you. You cannot do it alone. This thing is right. You're not supposed to do it this way. It's too heavy. Kaved mimcha. He uses language we might understand today, insisting that Moses' load is too heavy. He cannot carry the burden alone. And so Jethro devises a plan. Moses would delegate his authority, establishing essentially lower and appellate courts. It's a reminder to us all, we cannot do it alone. We need help carrying our weight, our burdens. Sometimes that means reaching out to others, whether we're asking for help or checking in, like Jethro and like Elmo, or maybe we're reaching out for help to ask others, and maybe it means taking care of our own physical and mental well-being. Judaism emphasizes this need for wellness. In Deuteronomy, we read, guard yourself and guard your soul very carefully. And the rabbis say, well, that must mean two different things. Shmirat haguf, caring for the body, and shmirat hanefesh, caring for the soul. The medieval sage Maimonides taught the importance of exercise over 800 years ago. Even the Talmud, 1,500 years ago, encourages healthy sleep. And so when we do things like exercise and sleep well and eat healthy, talk to a therapist, have our annual checkups, observe a day off, a Shabbat, then we can nurture our bodies, we can nurture our souls, as we live Torah in our own lives. And if you don't believe me and the Torah, just listen to the Sesame Street gang. Because after Elmo's tweet or whatever went viral, the Sesame Street account posted resources for mental health and emotional well-being. Or as Elmo tweeted, "Wow, Elmo is glad he asked. Elmo learned that it is important to ask a friend how they are doing. Elmo will check in again soon, friends. Elmo loves you. Heart. #emotional well-being." May we follow in Jethro's and Elmo's footsteps, checking in with each other, as well as in Moses' footsteps, finding the resources to ease our heavy burdens. And that in that way, may we guard ourselves, may we guard our souls, and take care of our well-being. Amen. Take a moment to think about how we can take care of ourselves.